Okay, you guys. All right, I think everything is cool. All right, so welcome to Super Easy Forex. I'm Uncle P, and I will be your host for today's show. But today is a very important show. We got a lot to talk about, and this one is really going to preferably and prayerfully help you more than you really realize on your Forex journey. Okay, hold on one second. Give me a second. Let me adjust my camera a bit. All right. Give me a second. All right. I need you guys, while I'm adjusting my camera, I need you guys to go and grab something to write with. Okay? You're going to need something to write with for this particular discussion that we're going to have today. Furthermore, if you know other Forex traders who are not doing as well as they want to do in the markets, you need to get them on to hear this as well. Okay? This discussion we're going to have today, I promise you, you're not going to ever hear it anywhere else. I probably won't do it myself. This is going to be a very truthful, open and honest discussion about what's really going on with the Forex journey that you're on. Okay? So again, please get something to write with and make sure that you're taking this lesson very serious, because we're going to do a deep dive into real Forex psychology. Good morning. Good morning. Real Forex psychology is not the same as the Forex psychology that they're telling everybody else about. Okay, so I want to be very clear on that. There is the market Forex psychology, but then there's a different kind of psychology for retail traders. And this is never talked about. So again, I'm stalling for a moment because I want you guys to please grab something to write with and make sure, absolutely sure, you're taking notes on this particular discussion, because it's going to help you get a whole lot further ahead much faster if you understand what's going on. Okay? All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay? So the first thing I want you to write down, and I want you to repeat this to yourself, because this is the real Forex psychology. Good morning, Derek. Good morning, you guys. Super Black 4. Good morning. Good morning. Write this down, please. The markets and price action movement is there to drain my pockets and emotions simultaneously or at the same time. Write this down. I promise you, this lesson alone is going to help you guys to really understand what's going on. Okay? Baby Boss, hey. Baby Boss, right on, man. And by the way, I owe you an apology. I thought you was another company the other day when I was in down there in LA, in the LA area, on Rodeo Drive, and there was a scammer company that always tried to jump on, and I mistakenly, so I owe you a public apology. So please forgive me, dear brother or sister, whoever you are. But welcome back. Okay, you've been on my mind ever since I left LA, when I was down there on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. And I was shooting that video and I accidentally said something. Then I thought about it. That's why I actually deleted that video, because of you. And I want to make sure I didn't offend you, because I thought when I glanced at the conversation, I kind of thought it was somebody else, but it wasn't. And so I'm glad you're here. Thank you, Baby Boss. All right. So anyway, back on here. I need you guys to write this down again. The markets and price action movement is there to drain my pockets and emotions at the same time. Now, I wrote down simultaneously. You can write down the word at the same time. It means the same thing. Okay? And I'm going to go through step by step. So make sure you are jotting and taking notes as you're going along. You're going to learn today about the real Forex psychology game that is warred and waged against you, the retail trader. It really is a war against you. Okay? So here we go. Number one, psychological games on the charts, especially short term, not long term. Okay? There's a psychological game that is specifically waged against retail traders who are trading short term time frames. So for those who are trading the 1 hour time frames, the 5 minute time frames, and so forth, and sometimes even the 15, there's a specific game being played against you that you don't even know is there. And you wonder why Watch this, and you can debate, you can say I disagree, that's fine. Research anywhere on success of Forex traders who are retail traders and do two types of researches. Number one, look at the percentage of people who are scalpers. And then also look at the percentage of people who are successful at it. And you'll find that a lot of retail traders who come to the Forex market are scalpers, but then you research and find the success numbers and you'll see that they are in the high 85 to 90 percentile of failures. And yet more and more people are piling in trying to be scalpers. And you would think that the obvious information is there. When you come to the Forex market, don't be a scalper. Wouldn't that make sense? If you know you're coming into a game that 85 to 90% of the other people who did it failed, so why would you come into the game with the idea that you're going to beat the odds? Now, again, if there's 85 to 90% of people who fail, that means there must be 10 to 15% who did it, right? Okay, that's true. I get it. But what is the chances of you being in that percentage? And if that's the case, why not, and I'm not telling you to stop trading Forex, but why not change the way you're approaching it? Because if everybody's beating at the same drum the same way and all coming out bruised up emotionally and so forth, that means that there has to be another way. Do you understand what I'm saying? Therefore, you have to change your approach to how you're approaching this game of Forex, or else you're going to continuously get bruised and beat up. A matter of fact, there's an old guy who was teaching, because he had been in the game for so long, he was teaching in London or somewhere to a room full of Forex traders. And he'd been around for a long time, and he teaches in, big institutions and so forth. And he said that the big institutions actually have different tools and so forth to play and dominate in the game of Forex on the short term. But they don't have those tools available on the higher time frames. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting. So they're focusing their tools and energy on the lower time frames. Why? Why would you do that? Because 85 to 90% of the people who's in the game who are retail traders and they're piling in by the numbers are trying to trade on shorter terms. So as I go along my list, I want to set that stage for you so that as I'm going through this emotional battle list, you begin to see how you're actually contributing to your own demise. So let me go back first over what I said. The markets and price action movement is there to drain your pockets and emotions at the same time. It's meant to do that. All that up and down, and you can see it behind me. Price action. Now this is the 4-hour time frame, so you can easily see the trends. You can see the trends here. See trends. You can see the trends. You can see it. It's clear, but you can't see it on them lower time frames, and you're getting chewed up alive because you're playing in their game, and you're losing more than just your money. Watch as I go through this psychological list, because we are talking about the psychological battle. So as I go through this list, write it down. But what I want you to do is put a check mark, circle, or highlight the ones that you know fits you where you are right now. Because if you're not going to be honest with yourself, then you are in the wrong game. Because you've been lying to yourself and to your family for a very long time. And as I go through this list, you're going to see what I mean. But it's not until you are willing to become clean and honest with what's really going on with you inside your head when it comes to this game here called Forex. Until you're willing to be honest, you'll never see the light of day. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm telling you the honest God truth. And we ain't even got started on the list yet. I'm just presenting facts first So as we're going along this list, you need to be honest and say, yeah, this is happening to me now. And the beautiful part about it, the market is not open. This is why I do my videos on Sunday before the market opens, so that you can have tools available that you didn't have before to arm yourself against what's really going on behind the scenes. This invisible war that has been waged against you, the retail trader, you now have tools to reassess your approach before the market opens. So let's get started on the list. Number 1, emotional damage. Some of you guys write this word down, write emotional damage, and then write an equal sign next to it and say depression. I told you we're going to go real deep on this list. I'm going to help you. You may not like me, you may love me, I don't care whichever way, but I love you enough to tell you the doggone truth so that the truth will set you what? Free. And you're not going to hear this probably anywhere else because nobody want to talk about it. Everybody want to pretend like they just made it up the chain and now they living this lifestyle and never went through the bruisings. But I'm going to tell you the truth about the real bruisings that happens to you along your journey, because you weren't told about what's really going on, the war that was really waged against you. Oh, Forex psychology. And then they got to talking about all these other things, but they're not talking about the real emotional facts of what's going on inside of you, the retail trader. So here's number 1 again. Write it down. Emotional damage. You have been suffering emotional collateral damage to your emotions. And some of you guys have drifted so deep to now you're in depression. But see, you can't tell nobody this. You know what's bad about depression? And when I was doing my talk show for relationships, because I am a certified life coach, and when me and my wife were doing our talk show on relationships, I used to describe depression like this. Depression comes from deep pressure. In other words, there's something deep on the inside of you that can't nobody see but you. Can't nobody feel it but you. And because of that deep wound that's going on inside of you, that deep chaos that's going on inside of you, you have to put on a demonstration, or you become an actor, because publicly you have to pretend like everything is still fine. But on the inside, you got this deep pressure, which is what creates depression. And so you told everybody that you was going on this Forex journey, that you was going to be making money and you're going to change life and da-da-da. And now you're in an emotional distress situation. And some of you guys, it's gotten so bad, and to truth be told, these charts have put you into depression. And you never said anything to anybody. You've YouTubed everything about Forex, still looking for the golden holy grail, and nobody even told you the truth. And because you're not getting the truth, you're searching and searching and searching, because something on the inside of you says, oh yeah, but there is a promise of the rainbow at the end of the road. But along the journey, you've fallen into a depression that you never even knew existed. And what's strange is because you used to be a very happy person until you started trading Forex, and now you're depressed. I told you we're going to step on some toes today. I told you to get your compadres or whoever your trading partners, your trading group, I told you to get them tuned in so that I can tune you up and fix the problem. I'm going to walk you through the problem first, and then we're going to go out and talk about potential solutions. But I can't give you solutions until I tell you what the real problem is. And better yet, I'm going to say what the problem is, but your heart is going to confirm it, whether you fit into these categories. And that's just the first one. And if it ain't happening to you and you don't know other Forex traders who's in your circle, you know it's already happening to some of them. And if it's already happening to some of them and you part of their trading group and y'all trading partners and it already happened to them, that means that all y'all are sharing the same information. And if it happened to them already, guess what? And you're in that group, you think you're going to be the one person who's it's not going to happen to? You're kidding yourself. Birds of a feather flock together. If y'all all learning the same stuff that ain't working, and all of y'all keep losing your money week after week, and you keep calling and acknowledging each other, trying to encourage each other, and the other member of the group fell into depression, and then another one, and another one, how long is it going to be before your turn? Do you see this crazy cycle? Meanwhile, the big flashing lights, like it's, in Las Vegas, come on and get this money. Ain't that what Las Vegas do? Promise of the casinos, oh, you can make a lot of money. But in your heart of hearts, something ain't right. The house always wins. Because you keep playing it their way. Type of number 1 if this is making sense so far. I want to make sure I'm reaching you guys where you really need to be reached. And this is just number 1. I want to make sure you guys understand this is the truth. The truth will set you free. Nothing more, nothing less but the raw, unadulterated truth. But nobody gives you truth. They give you sales pitches. And I'm a guy, hey, I do want you to purchase our trading system because it does help our organizations that we support all around the world. ASPCA, domestic violence people, invisible people up in LA, which is for homeless people, Feed in America, Food for the Poor. I mean, we got dozens of different organizations we support thanks to you guys buying our trading system. So yes, I do want you to buy a trading system. But before you do that, this may not be for you. The whole Forex thing may not be for you. Because until you are willing to get truth, you will be trapped. So let's keep going. Thank you for those number 1s. I want to make sure I'm teaching right. Let's go to number 2. Number 2 is psychological damage. The first one was emotional damage. The second one is psychological damage. They're not the same. Okay? So psychological damage, not feeling good about who? Yourself now. See, it has broken your confidence. Some of you guys used to be a very confident person in everything you did until you hit this market. And now you don't know up or down. You feel that, watch. Let me give you an example. In anything else that you tried, video games, business, whatever, you've tried, you failed, and you just say, hey, I'm going to dust myself off and I'm going to keep on going. Why? Because I'm a trooper. Woo, woo, I'm a trooper. Until it came to this jigsaw puzzle. That's what I actually consider Forex to be. It's a big jigsaw puzzle, and people are trying to piece it together to figure out how to get to the prize. It's not for the faint of heart. And along the way, you ended up in depression, and now watch what depression has done to you. Psychologically, when you lose a trade, you don't say, I lost a trade. You starting to say, I am a what? Loser. I can't do anything right. See, now you are turning against yourself. And that's dangerous. I told you we're going to hit some, take your shoe off. I'm going to step on them toes. It's going to hurt for a minute, but it's going to heal your soul. By the way, interesting. The word soul, write this down. The word soul, here's a little bonus. The word soul, according to what I studied, it means your mind, your will, and your emotions. Your mind, your will to do things, and your emotions. All that is within you. And this market has broken your soul. Hello. Hello. And we want to talk about Forex psychology? This is the real Forex psychology. You got a broken soul ever since you entered this. You used to be a happy-go-lucky person. You never talk bad about yourself to yourself. Uh-oh. And now all of a sudden, listen to the language that you speak within your own heart. You'll never say it out loud. But how are you talking about yourself now? The markets are against me. I can't do nothing right. I'm a failure. Whoa, loved one. Wait a minute. These markets have broken your soul so deep until now you are attacking not the markets, but now you are attacking yourself. This is real talk. And nobody wants to say anything about this because, dog, that ain't cute. It's this real talk about the Forex journey of people. Now you talking against your own self. And you want to learn about Forex psychology? Here you go. Here you go. Let's go again. You got more toes to step on. Come on. Number 3. Now you have the failures. After you start talking bad about yourself, now you fall into the next category of failures mentality. Not realizing that there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing. There ain't nothing wrong with you. They set it up that way. Let's go back and I'm going to reread the initial statement that I had you write down. And as we're going along, you're beginning to see why I told you to write that down first. The markets and price action movement is there to drain your pockets and what? Your emotions. Now, do you see what I'm saying? It's designed to do this to you. I did a video about a year ago, and I still think it's one of the best videos I've ever did. And I said the Forex market is the most abusive, emotionally abusive relationship you can ever get in. And as we're continuing along, you're going to see why. It's designed to abuse your emotions. And you're volunteering to be there. I can hear everybody say, well, hell, why am I even? Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? This is why I don't recommend it for everybody. I don't. It's not for everybody. Let's keep going. Number 5. Oh, here's a big one. Here's a biggie. Here's a biggie. Number 5, the golden trap. Write this down. The golden trap. Here's what I meant. Watch this. The golden trap. Right next to the golden trap, this is your statement. You say you're going to quit trading Forex, but you keep coming back. Whoa. The golden trap. Now you're like a drug addict. Somebody asked number 3. Number 3 was psychological damage. Actually, failure mentality. I'm sorry, failure mentality. Failure mentality. Number 3. Number 1, emotional damage, which equals depression. Number 2 was psychological damage, which equals not feeling good about yourself. Number 3 was failures mentality. Now you have adopted a new ideology about yourself. It is soaking so deep into your soul until now you call yourself a failure and you have this failures mentality. And now you believe you fail at everything you put your hand to do, when in essence, if that's not the truth. You just decide to play in a game that was built to make you feel that way. Number 4, Number 4 is the golden trap. Now you're saying you're going to quit trading Forex. But for some reason, you keep getting magnetized to come right on back again and again and again. You keep putting money into that trading account. You keep, I'm jumping the gun. We got more to go. I told you this was going to, the truth will what? Set you free. Somebody said they're a victim of number 3. See, come on now. I'm not making this stuff up. I ain't making this up. Somebody got to tell the truth. All these sales pitches out here to get your money, and nobody wants to tell you the truth. That if you ain't getting correct mentorship, you're just going to be another one of those victims. And the bad part about it, the market don't give a crap about you. You give 100% emotional crap about the markets, and the markets don't give 1% of emotion about you. They don't care. They don't care about you. Because to them, it's just a game. Take the sucker's money and keep it moving. Get as many people involved, take all their money. Now, let's keep going. Number 5, market intimidation. This is going to happen to some of you guys today. You want to pay attention to this one. Market intimidation. Sundays become very stressful for you because you know the market is open, but you're no longer excited to trade like you used to. When you first started trading, You was excited. I remember this one. I was in this one. Markets open. Ooh, Sunday finna open. The market's finna open. You rubbing your hands together, getting all excited. Oh, Lord, the market's finna open. Oh, the market's finna open. Y'all better look at that video I sent out last week, or week before last, about your Forex broker. You better watch that one, because I have told y'all live here countless times, don't touch the market when it opens on Sundays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever. Don't touch the market when it first opens, because it does the same. Your own broker participates in this every single day of the trading market. You go back and watch that video. I ain't gonna tell you everything here. Go back and watch it. I did a live on the charts to show you guys exactly what your own brokers are doing to you. Everything about this game is against you. And until you get taught properly, you're going to still be a victim. And now you're intimidated. Intimidated. You spent all weekend long. Watch this. Come on now. Let me just take your other shoe off and let me step on that other toe. Let me crunch it real good. It's better for me to hurt your feelings and hurt your foot than you to keep hurting your family. Oh my God. Come on now. So take that other shoe off and let me step on your toe. You should have spent time with your family, your kids, whoever, or even yourself. So what if you ain't with nobody? Sometimes you just need a peace of mind to spend with yourself, but you didn't. You ain't spent time with nobody. It's like you're a crack addict on these charts now. 10, 20, 10 hours a day. 15 hours a day. I heard somebody tell me the other day that they used to, until they got mentorship from us, that they were spending 14 hours a day on the charts. What? 14 hours a day. And before you open your mouth against them, how many hours have you used of your family time on them charts? See, before you cast a stone talking about somebody else as a druggie and a gambler, addict, and all these terminologies that we use to belittle other people, what about you? You stuck in a trap too. See, this is why you need to be humble when it comes to other people's hurts. The Bible made reference to that when it talked about you talking about other people who fail, lest ye fall also. And so your fall don't look like theirs, so you feel indignant and bold to talk about their failures and their fall and their traps of addiction. But haven't the market addicted you? Aren't you a market addict? So now you're dealing with this intimidation, all these pent up negative emotions, and when the market opens on Sunday, you are still addicted to the market to go open. You heard me tell you not to touch it, but you're addicted to it, so you still do it. And you continue the trap in your own trading career week after week because you're addicted. But at the same time, you're intimidated by the market. It used to be fun. It ain't fun no more. Now it has become your pimp. Write that down. The markets have become your pimp. And you're trapped. It's destroying you emotionally. And you keep saying you're going to quit or that you're going to get some real mentorship. You ain't did none of the above. And in a few hours, your same sick routine that you've been doing, spending hours upon hours on the charts, hours upon hours scouring the internet, trying to find the next new indicator or the new trading system so that you can get back involved again. You want to learn about market psychology? I'm sure people tuned in thinking, oh yeah, he's going to talk about how psychological levels in the markets, the whole numbers, 72.900, those whole numbers in the market. When you come to trading these currency pairs, you thought I was going to talk about what they want me to teach. Markets love for people to teach about that stuff because they can hide that stuff, and you off to the races thinking, okay, you finally figured it out, and you get to them whole numbers and they still hit your stop loss. Why? And then come back in a few hours or the next day and come right back to the levels you knew. Support and resistance areas around the whole number, psychological. You thought you figured them out. The problem is they figured you out with your tight butt stop losses. I talk about that in class all the time. And some of the students in here, you know goodness well, I talk about that all the time. Them tight butt stop losses, because they know where you're going to put them, and you become victim of it. And now you're intimidated, just like you would be in an abusive relationship with your abusive lover. You love them, but you're afraid of them. Isn't that what happened to you here? You love the markets, but you're afraid of it. You love this thing, but it has completely damaged you. And the truth is, when you look yourself in the eye, if you can even do it, you don't even recognize yourself for who you used to be. Something happened to you. But yet when you leave that mirror with yourself, you still got to go in front of your family and friends and pretend like everything is fine. When somebody asks you about trading, oh yeah, you know, it's cool, but you don't want to stretch out that conversation. Why? Because you know if they ask too many questions, the truth will come out. And you have to become an even bigger liar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You wanted to learn about market psychology. The psychology that I'm talking about lies in you. And until you're getting fixed from this addiction, the market is going to continue to eat you alive and spit you out until you have nothing left. Let's keep going. We're almost done. I got solutions. Don't get me wrong. I got a few solutions. But I got to set you up first so that you can see that one of the things people, you know, let me say this real quick. When I was doing relationship coaching, premarital counseling, all these different things, and then for years, for several years, I was a divorce counselor. Believe it or not, I did that for several years for people who was going through a divorce and trying to, you know, emotionally recover. It's the same thing as the markets, unfortunately. That's the crazy part about it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They love the person, but now they're divorcing them and they don't know. It's a hard transition because they love them, but then they want to be away from them. Ain't that what's going on with some of y'all? You love the markets, but you know you need to be away from it, but it's just something magnetizing you right back. And so you keep going through this circle of abuse because you have not learned the truth about what the markets have been doing to you. Now, I got solutions, stay tuned, but I got to tell you the truth. I hope this is making sense. So as I'm teaching these people about what's going on for them, one of the things I notice about people become experts on everybody else. You ask them a question that ain't even none of their business. You asking them about something else, and they become an expert on telling you about other people's business. So you just became an expert on everybody else. But when it comes to you, you have these blinders on. And because you have these blinders on, you're not willing to acknowledge the truth for what it is. And you won't allow nobody to speak into your life. For me, thank God I'm in front of this camera and I'm able to tell you the truth. And I really don't care whether you like me or not. I love you enough to help you through this journey. And today, we're not worried about who's the scammer, who's the this and that. We're not talking about any of that stuff. We're not talking about indicators. We're not talking about charts. We're just simply talking about the one thing you've been avoiding talking about for a very long time. You. And what's going on with you, player? The truth. The truth. And see, the good part about how we're doing this here is there's nobody around you for you to debate with this time. Because as I'm going through this, I'm not really even seeing the comments on purpose. I'm reading some of them, but I'm not discussing anything with many of them because I don't want you to fight me on this. I want you to fight what you know is going on inside of you. I want to put you in a corner to the point where you have nobody to fight with but yourself and the truth. Because when anybody tries to talk to you about anything, some of you guys are so stubborn. When somebody come and talk to you about anything, the first thing you do is come out fighting. You never even stop to say maybe it's the truth. You're so defensive. And meanwhile, this thing is ripping you apart. But see, you can't debate with me because I'm not sitting there with you to cut me off. That's what some of you guys do. You cut people off when they're talking to you because you don't want to hear it. But you can't cut me off because I'm not sitting in front of you. So it's just me and you and this camera and the truth being told to you. And for the first time, you're recognizing the truth for what it really is. You know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling you the truth. The truth you haven't told yourself in a very long time. If ever, that this thing and your approach to the Forex market could be faulty. And because of this faultiness, you're getting beat up pretty badly. And you fell into one of these categories. And you don't know how to get out. Years ago, and we're going to get to these solutions momentarily, but look, we got one more. But years ago, they used to have this commercial of this old lady because they were trying to sell these alert systems. And they had this old lady who fell and hit the ground. And she said, "Oh, I fell and I can't, get up." I think it was called Life Alert or something like that for old people where they can push a button for emergency services in case they fall. And she said, "I fell and I can't get up." Ain't that some of y'all? You fell so deep emotionally. You don't know how to get out. You're literally in an emotional trap with this Forex. And that's why you keep saying you're going to quit. But the addiction of the market keep bringing you back week after week after week. That's why you shut your mouth. You don't talk bad about other people because you got your own to deal with too. I ain't going to say the word, but you understand what I'm saying. I don't want God being mad at me, but you don't know exactly what I'm saying. You got your own crap to deal with. So before you ever talk about another person, shut your mouth because you got your own traps too. You falling and you having a hard time getting up. Now let's keep going. This is the next one. Number 6, you've been lying to your family and being very secretive about your losses. This is psychological damage. Now you're a liar and the truth ain't in you. You've been lying. Money coming up missing, you come up with great creative stories. As if you really did use it to pay a bill that was a surprising bill. That wasn't a bill, it was your fix. Your addiction to the market. See, you can't talk about crack addicts and you're an addict too. They spend money on drugs, you spend the money on your drug called the charts. They lie about where they got the money from and what they did with it. You lying about where you got the money from and what you doing with it. See, you ain't no different from them. Isn't that amazing? It's just that they're using a physical drug, you're using a virtual drug. Woo! I should be talking to 1 million traders right now. Lord have mercy, I miss public speaking. I miss public speaking, Jesus, because this is the doggone truth. Do you see why you shut your mouth and be humble? If you see another struggling person, you don't talk bad about him. You help them out because when you realize it, doggone it, you got addictions too. Yeah, that's right. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, Ron. I bet you people didn't know they was coming to hear this today. You're an addict. And you still trying to get prepared. Well, hurry up and finish this video so I can get my fix. Why? What you gonna do? Take some more secret money that you lying about to your family and deposit it into your trading account that they don't know about, and then you gonna blow it before Sunday's even over, before the week is over. You keep doing the same freaking thing. When is you gonna stop? And the problem is, you know that there is possibility to make money in Forex, and you're right. But your approach to how you're going about it is sick. It's sick. You're sick. You're an addict. And you're trapped in this abusive relationship. You love it, but you hate it. And you know it. Let's go to one more, and then let's get to some solutions. I'm running out of time. Number 7, and this is the last one on stepping on your toes, then we're going to get a little healing on here. Investing in more and more indicators, or EAs, which is trading robots, instead of investing to get mentorship. One of the things that I love to do, and I actually signed up for another course today, and because I used to trade stocks and options, but it's been so long, I don't remember, and futures. I used to trade futures. I want to get back into trading futures eventually. And so guess what I did since I couldn't sleep last night? Guess what I did? I didn't go open up a trading account to start trading futures. I knew of this person who'd been doing it a very long time. So they had credibility. And I signed up with them last night. I sure did. I signed up with them to get education, to refresh my mind on trading futures, even though I used to do it a long time ago. But see, it's been too long. So instead of me opening a trading account and putting real money into it, I put my real money into education. But what you have been doing, realistically, if God tells the doggone truth, as a matter of fact, do a financial statement on yourself and see if I'm lying. Go to my website or any other who you trust, who actually teaches week after week after week. Not just sell you something, but actually follows up by teaching you week after week after week. That's going to be rare in the market, first off. But even when you do that, look at how much each of us charge. And I think I'm really on the cheap end of the spectrum. And I do that on purpose. But there's more expensive ones, way more expensive. Look at how much they charge. Whether you go to expensive or to us who's cheap, in my personal opinion, especially when you're getting lifelong education week after week after week, you get to talk with me live every week. Okay, fine. But even if you say I'm expensive, no problem. But here's what I want you to do as a homework assignment when we get done. Pull out your bank statement or your secret account where you've been stealing money from the family or wherever you got your money, whatever, and calculate and tabulate for yourself how much you have already lost to the market, how much you have already spent on indicators, how much you've already spent on EAs, robots, and all these other things. You calculate and see how many thousands upon thousands of dollars you've already burnt up. And yet you won't spend a little bit to get some education. And you think you're going to make a full-time career, because I hear this all the time, I want to be a full-time trader. The moment I hear that statement, I already know this person is in the wrong direction. Did you hear what I said? The moment I hear that statement, I know this person needs some mentorship. You want to know why I say that? If you ever look at the lifestyle of real Forex traders, while you're doing 10, 20, 14 hours a day. I mean, you're so addicted to the charts, marking them up and putting your trend. You've been there for so long. The sun has came and gone and you're still in the same place. Every waking hour, you're on the charts, even when the market is closed. And if you ask a professional Forex trader, stock market trader, any professional who's on these charts, you see, we don't spend that kind of time on these charts. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Good or bad week, because you're going to have some bad weeks, and we're going to get into solutions, so pay attention, and we're almost done. But you'll notice, no, that's not something we're going to do. Because when it clicks for you, you realize all the time and money you wasted. And more important than the money was the time that you lost off your life on something that when you actually look back, you say, man, it wasn't even that hard. You will hear professional Forex traders say, oh, I spend about an hour a day on the charts. And here you are, 14 hours in, 10 hours in, 6 hours in, 5 hours in, and you still ain't making nothing. And you still don't want mentorship. No problem. See, again, I don't fight people. I told my wife this. I have a rule that I don't deal with stubborn people. You know why? Because you can't teach stubborn people. They say, oh, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Actually, you can if the dog is willing to learn. But the one thing you can't teach is a stubborn dog or a stubborn person. And so for me, I know that I'm a limited resource with limited time on this planet. And I refuse to waste my time on stubborn people. So if you're comfortable with your addiction, doing the same old thing, keep at it. But here's a question that a real mentor, even in relationships, I used to have to ask, because 90% of my audience, we have thousands of people tuned into our show. And I used to always ask this question when I was talking to a person who wanted to ask a question about a relationship, but then clearly you're stuck in a bad situation. But then when I'm telling you, you ask me for help, but when I'm telling you, you're going to sit there and defend why you need to be in this relationship, I would ask one question. How is that working for you? If what you say is you wrong, okay, no problem. See, it's not my problem, it's yours. How has it been working for you? And I'm asking you the same question. How has it been working for you? See, I'm not on the internet scouring, looking for the next new indicator, this and that. I don't do all that. You do. And yet you want to debate and argue? All right. See, who am I? Yes, it does require 6 hours a day on the charts. Really? All right. If that's what you believe, stay stuck in your addiction. For me, when I'm done with this video, I'm going downstairs and I'm going to take my new car and put my wife in it, and we're going to go get some nice food and wherever she wants to go right before the Super Bowl today. And we're going to watch the Super Bowl. I'm not going to watch the charts. I'm going to enjoy watching the Super Bowl. Why? Because professionals, we have a life. Because you realize all that extra wasn't even necessary. That's where mentorship comes in, to show you the shortcut ways so that you're not spending hours upon hours upon hours a day. You can spend about an hour, maybe 2 at the most, if you're going to go through all 28 currency pairs plus whatever. That's fine. I can see, you're doing your assessment up to about an hour. It shouldn't take no more than that, because when you really follow rules, you find out a lot of these pairs don't even fit into your rules. So why am I even wasting time assessing it? When students come to my class and they say, hey, can you look at this chart with me? And they start talking, the moment they start talking, I say, hey, and some of y'all in my class, I do this. And I tell them, hey, this is not being rude. I'm saying this out of love. We don't need to go further discussing this pair. And they said, why? I said, according to the rules, what do you see what's wrong with this already? And see, what am I doing as a mentor? I'm stopping them from being indulged into an abusive financial relationship with a currency pair that doesn't even fit right. We don't even need to talk about this one. This one don't fit it, do it. And they say, no, I say, what's the rule? Okay, when you see this, what's the rule? Oh, okay, then why are we even talking about it? Move on. See, Trina, says she'll do. Hi, Trina. See, I ain't lying. I will stop you from your assessment when I find out you starting off on the wrong foot, because ain't no need of you wasting time on a pair that don't even fit the rules. Why are we even talking about it? If it's a SpongeBob squarehead and you trying to sell that thing, wrong. What did the rules say? When you see the SpongeBob squarehead or a slant pattern, leave it alone. Some of y'all like, what is those patterns? Exactly. See, you don't have mentorship. See, a good mentor loves you enough to stop the abuse and put you on the right track. Let's go ahead and close this out. Here's some rules to write down, please, and let's close this out today. And by the way, thank you for tuning in. I know you could have been doing many other things, listening to other people. I really do thank you guys who are here live, and I really do thank the thousands of people who are going to be watching this later. I really do appreciate you guys. Because truth be told, I put more effort into wondering what I'm going to teach than I do worrying about these charts now. These charts don't even thrill me no more. I went through many of these stages my doggone self. How do you think I know so much about them? Now, I didn't go through every single one of these, but many of these steps, I actually went through it. And I tell my students in class all the time, I don't have overexcitement for the markets no more. Because once you come out of that abuse, you don't desire it like you did when you was in it. So I don't get overly thrilled about the markets no more. It's just a way of making money. But my thrill and excitement for it is not there anymore because my journey was so tough, because I didn't have an Uncle P to say, hey man, you need to stop this and stop doing that because you're gonna fall into this trap. I fell into many of these traps. And by the time I came out, I wasn't the same person. So my thrill for Forex actually comes from teaching you guys what not to do. I get excited on teaching classes. I love teaching my classes every week. That's the thrill for me. Because trading Forex, I mean, I look for my setup, and when I see it, I take the trade. One or two options are going to come out. Either it's going to go into profit or it's going to hit my stop loss and got to go on to the next one. See, the game is just that simple. But the thrill of educating people who I've never met all around the world, that is so delightful, and a gratefulness that I have. Because at least something good came out of all the bad stuff that happened to me in my journey. So thank you guys for tuning in, and the thousands who's going to watch this later. You guys give me the joy that I actually get from Forex, which is teaching. So let me give you some solutions, and let's go ahead and celebrate and watch get prepared for the Super Bowl today, okay? All right. So number one, under the rules, here we go. Right quickly, because I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them, but I want to give these to you guys. Here we go. Number one, losses. Write this down. Oh my God, this is a big one. This one is going to fix many of you guys in your head. Remember I told you about the emotional damage and depression, the psychological damage, and not feeling good about yourself, and then you fall into the trap of failure mentality and all these. This one rule alone is going to fix that. Write this down. Number one, losses are part of the game. I don't care what professional you talk to, you're going to find that professionals lose trades too. It is part of the game. The difference between a professional trader and a retail trader is professionals calculate that into their percentages of win rates. They understand that. Now, let me say this. Everybody who comes into the game gets that. So you're saying, what's so special about that? Here's the truth. We all say it, but not everybody believe it. When you lose a trade, we do have to stop here for a second. When you lose a trade, how do you feel about yourself? No. Remember, the truth is going to set you free. So right now, let's tell yourself the truth. When you actually lose a trade, how do you really feel about yourself? Do you know that institutions lose trades? That's why they have, for the traders who work for them, who trades the company's money, they actually have a shutoff valve for them. So I hear. I never worked for them, but I've studied with, and the point is, they have a shutoff valve. So if a client loses a portfolio's money to a certain percentage, it shuts them off. They can't trade no more. See, they have parameters in place. Why? Because even institutions will not win 100% of their trades. Nobody does in this game. That's the whole point. Nobody does. The difference between the institutions and professionals, they know that and accept it for what it is. That's why they have a 2% risk. Why do you think they use a 2% risk? So that it don't hurt their feelings too much when they lose a trade. Meanwhile, you're risking 50%, 100% on a trade, 75% on the trade, 40% of your account on one trade. You're trying to hit home runs instead of going the distance. Why? Because you have no patience. So because of your losses and your need to double your account to prove to America or wherever you are around the world that you can flip an account, because of that, and you have poor risk management and high pride, P-R-I-D-E, you got high pride to prove to yourself in the world that you can double an account quickly. So you got poor risk management and poor rules for yourself. That's the reason why you flipping out. Meanwhile, they'll shut you off after 2%. You lost at 2%, you're done for today. Come back tomorrow. Do you know 2%? What's 2% of a $100 account? $2. Just think about it. If you lost $2 on the trade, would you really be cussing everybody out, getting mad, and falling into depression? It was only $2. Because you've already factored in that if I take around 10 trades, I possibly may lose 3 or maybe even 4. It's okay. Did you factor that in? That losses are part of the game? No, you didn't. You say mentally, see, consciously you say that, but subconsciously you haven't accepted that. So every time you do take a loss, you're having a spasm. You're falling out. You're falling into depression. You know I'm telling the truth. Now I'm going to ask this question just to make sure we're on the same page. I ain't going to ask from you, but do you know traders who fall under that level? They psychologically cannot handle a loss. Type in number 5 in the box if you know that to be true. Not you, but some traders you know. Psychologically, they cannot handle losses. Psychologically. I had talked in class last week. I said for some traders, they have a $100,000 account. But if they lose even $10 of the $100,000 account, they will flip the hell out. Lord, forgive me for using that word, but it's the truth. They will flip out. And there they go, scouring the internet, looking for the next indicator, looking for the next system, looking for the next this and that. Because they can't even handle a $10 loss on a $100,000 live account. And I'm seeing all the number 5s pouring in. See, I'm not making this stuff up. So anybody want to call me a scammer? You think I care? When I was going through my painful journey, where were you then? You didn't even give a crap what my name was. You didn't offer me a helping hand or nothing. And now I'm supposed to be concerned about you thinking I'm a scammer? Nigga, please. Because see, you didn't help me learn this. And now that I'm here, you want to use my name and my brand to get views. And you know nothing about me. Nothing about our trading system because you're too cheap. But for those who are real traders who are struggling or who knows people are struggling, you know doggone well every word I've said so far today is absolute 100% unequivocally the truth. Undeniable truth, because this is the psychological damage that happens to a Forex trader. And nobody who wants to tell the truth can deny what I've said today. It's the truth. And part of that is accepting the truth that you're going to lose some trades this week, possibly. And if not this week, sometime along your journey. So you might as well suck it up and accept it and not jump off of whatever trading system you're using because you accepted a loss. It's part of the game. Even the institutions accept that. Why not you? Well, here's the problem. All those other psychological damaging things that happen to you has caused you to feel like every time you personally lose a trade, that there's something wrong with you. And it could be the trading system you're using. Could be the fact that you got the right trading system, but you ain't been mentored on how to use it. Here's another one, and here's a bonus. I'm almost out of time. God, I got to close this up. I try to only do just a 1 hour class on Sundays, up to an hour of your time. But I feel this is some good stuff. I would have paid a mentor to talk to me just like this. I would have. I really would have. Because I would prefer to have paid for one therapy session in Forex than to have lost the 6 figures plus of the finances that I lost along my journey, plus all the psychological damage that came along with that. Some of you guys, you fallen out because you lost $100 and blown a $100 account. Somebody had asked me the other day, and I'm not lying. Somebody had asked me the other day. They were using one of our strategies from one of our students, and I'm not saying the name, but they were using one of our strategies, and they was like, man, I'm making profit after profit after profit. They picked up an idea from somebody else about a new strategy. And they went into that strategy using real money. And I'm going to talk about that momentarily. They went into the strategy using real money. And they lost, I think, about $1,500 or $1,800. And they were just eating. And I get it. That hurts. They lost about $1,800. And I can tell the way they was talking about it in the chat room, you know, that I needed to step in and give them a little bit of encouragement. And I told them, you know, I know you lost about $1,800, but, you know, I was in this one particular trade and it didn't work out. I lost $7,000 the same time that you lost your $1,800. Now, I wasn't using the strategy. It was just that particular pair of news event came out and nothing you can do about it. This is why you have to be willing to accept losses, because sometimes you can have the perfect strategy, but if a news event comes out that even if not planned, it could be something that just jumped off in that particular country and out of the blue, the price of that currency pair just spikes out of the blue. And I said, hey, well, I just lost $7,000 today on the trade. He said, what? And you still okay? Yeah, it's just part of trading. See, I had to suck it up and keep it moving. What you gonna do? Nothing. Keep it moving. It is what it is. Find another trade, get the money back. You see the difference between thinkings? One is, I accept it. The other one is, I can't believe that it happened to what? Me. Did you hear what I said? One is acceptance. Institutions accept it. Professional traders accept it. Retail traders say this all the time. I can't believe it happened to who? Me. So you made it personal. Type in number 10 in the box if you know I hit the nail on the head on that one. Your losses are personal. But in Forex, none of it's personal. They don't even know your name. They just know your trading patterns. So every time you enter a trade, it feels like it's personal because they learned how you trade. And then they target you on the lower time frames. So now it does feel personal to you. But that's because you're trading the same way everybody else is trading. So they learn your psychological makeup on how you trade the markets. And they target that. So it feels personal to you, but it's just a game to them. They don't even know your name. Look at all these number 10s pouring in. See, I don't make this stuff up, y'all. That's the reason why, yes, I'll do some short videos like I did a video on trading just the other day. Watch the video I did on NFP with our trading system. I just posted that one yesterday. But I'm not going to always do videos on charts because somebody needs to step in and bless you with knowledge of what goes on behind the charts and behind the scenes. I don't make this stuff up. You know it. Let's hurry up because I got to get on to my wife. So number one rule is losses are part of the game. Number two, write this quickly. Come on, let's keep going. Quickly. Number two is treat it like a video game, not life or death. This is big. I taught my children how to trade. As a matter of fact, my children are all grown, but they actually they had a meeting yesterday. And my children, isn't that beautiful? I can actually say that my children met yesterday as a group on some investments they were looking at in cryptocurrencies now. My children did that without I just seen, because we have a text feed, you know, and I just seen them texting each other. They didn't ask me, which is good because I left a legacy. That's the beautiful part about it. One of my sons took leadership and he said, hey, I want to show you guys, here's what we can do, and let's do it. And they're all young. They're grown, but they're still very young, you know, young. But look at what legacy are left. That they're meeting together to talk about strategies for crypto trading. And one of my sons, I remember he told me this, and I didn't even see this one. He said, and I had him on as a guest one time to the group, and people love my son. And I'll never forget my son told me this. He said, Dad, I just treat it like a video game. So for him, it's just fun. It's just a game to him. And that's why he's successful, because it's just a video game. Have you Ever played, watch this. Have you ever played a video game and lost, and then you just started playing again? Whether you old school and played Miss Pac-Man, or you playing these new video games, or whatever, these new games. I don't really play games like I used to no more. Madden, even Madden. I was a beast on Madden. And if I lost, I'm going to play you again. Or let's rephrase it. Some of y'all old heads, you like playing dominoes or spades. Okay, name a game and you lost. Did you fall out and have a spasm? Or did you come back and just win because you know you were good at it? It was just a game. But notice what happens. Those games are fun. This stopped being fun for you because you're taking it as life or death. Treat it like a game and you'll find the stress is off of you. You won't keep over leveraging your account by, you got $100 account and you putting a half a standard lot on a trade. Are you freaking kidding me? Why? Because you're treating it like life or death, like you must flip this account. Which, by the way, write the next one down, number 3. If it is life or death, then find something else to do. Write that down. If it is life or death, if trading is life or death for you, find some other way to make money. Did you hear what I said? See, I'm not going to mentor you and tell you something just so you can buy or trade. So of course, again, it's here. I'm more than glad to mentor you, but I never, hear what I said, I never. When I find out that students are really struggling between life or death, putting food on the table for their family, and they saying, but I want to trade, I don't want you as a client. I don't want you as a client. Not because I don't love you, but as a mentor, I am doing the best. I am showing you love. Because if anybody has ever traded in Forex, you and I both know you can have the perfect setup and out of the blue, some news event happened. It happened last week on NZD Swiss. I think it was last week or week before last. But the Swiss pairs, out of the blue, no, it wasn't scheduled announcement, just no nothing. Out of the blue, all pairs that was connected to the Swiss just shot up out of the blue. And if you're on your last dollar, you just lost every dime that you could have used some other way to feed your family on a trade. I cannot accept that responsibility. And neither should you. Stop. Find another way to make some ends meet and come back later on. I'm more than happy to mentor you, but not when it's your last, because I don't want you putting your last that your family is depending on you for into a bouncy market. Last week, the whole market was sketchy. And I've been telling y'all for the longest, NFP ain't nothing no more like it used to be. Because on the day of NFP, non-farm payroll, when the news announcement come out, it's like a 2-minute, 5-minute spike in the market, and then the market goes back to normal. But all the way up until that market time happened, the whole week, the market is just jumpy and edgy, sitting still, then jumping around. It's like, okay, ain't nothing to see here. But that's the way the market performs. And now you just so happen to got started for your first time in the Forex market during the NFP week. And you didn't know that's the way it acts. And your family was depending on you to bring home some bread and bologna to feed them. Find something else to do, loved one. Or practice in the demo account. But don't go live. Don't do that. Let's hurry up. Number 4 is the next one, which I'm hinting to. Stop trading live and stay in demo until you're able to flip that demo account for at least 3 weeks to a month. Watch this. This is a life journey, so 1 month won't hurt you, loved one. Calm your butt down. You know what I don't like about Forex? And I say this in class all the time. I think it is really one of the most immature businesses on the planet. How could you have so much money involved in this market and so much immaturity? And I talked to my youngest son, he's 22 now, turned 22 in December. And he said, well, the reason why it's like that, because there's a lot of youngsters who came in looking for quick money. Now he's 22, he trades. And he told me, he said, this is why. That's why there's so much immaturity in this market. Because some of the immaturity that I hear doesn't even exist in the stock market or options market or the future, just in Forex only. And you say, well, what do you really mean by that? Here's what I mean. I, for the life of me, have never heard this dumb bull crap. Is you in a live account or is you in a demo? Nigga, Rachi, look, stop saying that. Get that word out your library. You understand what I'm saying? What? Never in any other industry do you have people who say before they will even hear you out, you better prove to them it's a live account or else. Only in this immature market called Forex. And they intimidate anybody who shows any kind of results in their demo account. Oh, you demo flexing. Type in number 3 in the box if you ever heard that term before. He just demo flexing. So before they will even hear you out, the first thing you got to do, which is why you see me, and I don't know why I'm submitting to that foolery, but again, I do get it. There's a lot of scammers in this market too. So I do submit to that one, even though it burns me up. So you'll see me when I'm doing my accounts a lot of times. The first thing I'm doing, I point to it and show you, hey, this is a live account. But the truth is, I've never had to do that when I was trading binary options. Never did that in the stock market when I was trading options or futures. Never. Only in this immature business called Forex. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't ever want you submitting to that. You stay in demo and be proud of your demo account that you're flipping. Because think about the logic of this. Why would you go straight into a live account if you couldn't even flip a demo? Who are you proving this to? And meanwhile, because you keep going live, you wonder why you fitting in almost every category of all the psychological damage, emotional damage, depression, psychological damage, not feeling good about yourself, failure mentality, the golden trap. You keep saying you're going to quit, but you keep coming back. Market intimidation. Now you're intimidated by the market. Now you're lying to your family and being secretive about your losses. You're investing more into indicators and EAs instead of investing into mentorship. You are the person who fits into this because you keep doing live accounts. And you're refusing to do a demo account because of your pride and submitting to this foolishness in this market. Oh, he demo flexing. Every time I hear somebody saying that in the feed, I don't catch everybody, but when I see it, oh, you better believe I'm gonna rebuke your behind. Don't you lay your lips on somebody else because they demo flexing. So what? We cheer them on anyway, because if they can finally learn to master it in practice, they're going to do the same thing live. And don't bring your raggedy behind into my group talking bull crap. Can't stand that stuff. We got thousands of people in our group, so I can't see everybody's. And I have Telegram admin team who watches comments too to keep the foolishness out. And we don't catch everything, but as soon as I catch that mess, oh, you better believe I'm gonna rebuke you behind in front of everybody. You better not come in my group doing that bull crap. Leave that somewhere else with that immaturity. You come on in and do your demo account. You ain't gotta prove nothing to nobody. As I say all the time, think about this foolishness. We're finna watch the Super Bowl. You think Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady didn't practice this week? You think they did not practice and they just gonna take the field today to play the Super Bowl? Their practice is demo. They're practicing their strategy before playing it in the Super Bowl. How do you think they reached the Super Bowl? And you wonder why you fall into this foolishness and you're in the high 85 to 90% of people who's losing their Forex because you keep doing stupid stuff. Look in the mirror and tell yourself the truth. Why in the HE double hockey sticks are you using real money and you can't even flip a demo? And then you keep coming back, putting real money in. What is wrong with you? You're an addict. You got a problem. And you're not a professional. Do you know professionals spend a lot of time in demo? I was reading a comment from this professional trader, and he actually said that he spends more time in his demo account than he does his live account. Isn't that freaking amazing? And he's been around for a long time. Isn't that amazing? When was the last time you actually just stuck with your demo account and didn't use your real money? Question number 2. How much better? No. Whoa. Give me just a few more minutes. We finna be. I know we're over time. I like just 1 hour of your time, but this is important. This is important. Let me ask you some real questions to really get your mind right before the market opens today. I do my videos on Sunday before the market opens so I can get your mind right before you get there. And I'm gonna give you something to think about. Maybe this will help maybe just one person who tuned in today. Maybe it will. I'm gonna ask you a question. When you placed, the last time you placed a demo trade, watch what I'm gonna ask. The last time you placed a demo trade, sometimes didn't you even forget that you placed it? You understand what I'm saying? You forgot you placed it. See what happens? The moment you traded with a demo account, all of these negative emotions were non-existent. All this emotional damage and emotional failure and all these different things, it is non-existent. Instantly, you're already instantly healed from your psychological damage from this market because you was in a demo account. What happened was, because it wasn't real, it instantly removed your emotional state from the trade and you accepted the trade for what it was. The moment you were in a demo account, you actually became a professional trader. Why? Because you didn't care whether the trade won or lost. You were just looking at the trade for what it was. I used a strategy, I placed a trade, I used my stop loss, I used my take profit, and sometimes you even forgot the trade was there. And you were mentally and emotionally healthy because you did it with a demo account. And then when it didn't work out, you went back to the drawing board and said, okay, what do I need to tweak? And you try again. Doesn't that sound like what professional traders do? But you are trapped because you insist on putting real money into the account trying to flip it. Because you don't want to be criticized as demo flexing. Do you see how that doesn't make sense? Have you ever, if you had the chance to talk to Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, or LeBron James, or any sports star that you know and like, any singer that you admire, any actor who you like, ask any of them if they have never practiced first before going live in front of a camera and any sports, act, or whatever they did. And they will tell you, no, they practice a lot. But you don't. You go straight to a live account. You blow it, you get emotional, you have a spasm, and you rinse and repeat the same sick process week after week after week. And you wonder why you're in this psychological damaged mode you're in. You wonder why the markets are taking advantage of you. They also know that most Forex traders don't like to use demo accounts. I told you the truth will set you free. Let's close up. I gotta go. This is the last one for today. I've been teaching this to my students, the in-out approach. I'm sorry, the out-in approach, the out-in approach. I've been teaching them strategies built off of this. And that's why a lot of them are having great success now. I looked at them in the chat room before I came in this live, and I saw somebody how they actually took a few minutes and marked up some pairs based on the strategies we teach. And it was easy to spot. And now they're already set and just waiting for the trap, for the thing to fall into place. It only took them minutes to do. Because now they're learning to look outward and then zero in. What do I mean by that? Here's what this old man, and I'll close with this. I told you about the old man in the beginning. If you're late, go back and watch this from the beginning. I told you this old man said, and he was teaching a room full of traders. And he's an old man who taught institutions and corporations on Forex trading, this and that. Here's what he said. He said, and I'm using him because you may not trust me. That's okay. You may not believe what I'm saying. But here's what this old man said. He was giving a lecture. And he said these institutions have tools specifically to give them the advantage on, watch this, the shorter time frames. Magically delicious. Huh? They have trading tools specifically for the shorter time frame to give them the advantage. But let me ask you this question then. Remember I asked a question earlier in the show? I said, if you had to do your own research on this Forex institution for real, how many people lose in Forex? About 85, 90%. Then you look at that percentage of losers who's losing, they're not losers, meaning their career, not them personally. But out of those people who are losing in the Forex industry, how many of them are always trying to be scalpers, short 1 minute, 5 minute time frame traders? And here's the real question while you're doing your research. Where do you fall in line? See, we can talk hypotheticals, but I'm asking you the question. I'm asking you a real question. When you first came into this industry, were you trying to be one of those people? Watch my hand. I was guilty. See, I ain't talking bad about you. I'm talking about myself too. Because I wasn't taught properly. So if they have the tools specifically to give themselves the advantage on the short time frame, and here you come not knowing what's going on, can you understand why you're getting targeted now? Your trades are being targeted. It feels personal. Like every time I place a trade, they're targeting my trade. Because they are, loved one. The truth will set you free. That's why you can come up with all the different strategies you want. It ain't going to help you. Unless you got mentored by a professional scalper like me. I know I can scalp, but that ain't my forte. That's why I let Miss Jenny do it in the signals group. I don't get involved in that. That ain't my thing. See, I know my limitations. I know how to do it, but I'm not the best. I let somebody who specializes in that. Number two, here's the problem with that. Most of the people who come to me for mentorship, they don't have the time because they're still working full-time jobs or they're traveling. So they can't focus their energy where it needs to be. That's why if you want that, we have that available. I'll send you to the specialists. Because you're going to need a specialized type of training to learn how they're doing it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So then that brings the question, well, where's the general advantage for most average Forex traders? Here's what he said. See, I'm quoting somebody else. Here's what he said. Somebody said, what about price action? That's the problem. Everybody's being taught about price action. You notice that's a very popular buzzword, price action, price action, price action. When I first came on the scene and I started teaching some of the stuff that I'm teaching, do you know I got ate alive? People would tear me up alive because I wouldn't talk about price action all the time. But my question is, if that's the buzzword, and everybody else is focused on it, then why do we have such a high percentage of people who still losing? So see, somebody giving away, and I ain't gonna tell them Super Black 4. Yep, you see, he's in my group. See, he knows our strategy. NSTP, that's our strategy. The last thing on that P, NSTP, And I ain't gonna give y'all our tools. You gotta come and pay for it. I ain't gonna give you everything for free. But the last thing on that NSTP acronym, when we're doing our analysis, the last one on there is the P, price action. It's not the first. Because when you really learn how professionals trade, that's the last thing you do. And by the way, and I'm gonna wrap up and go back to my point, but I saw that turn because I know this is one of the traps. They always teach price action, price action, price action, price action. But think about it. How many times have you spent hours upon hours upon hours assessing the price action, doing your trend lines, and you still lose your money? Huh? You still lose your money. So obviously price action cannot be king. And that's where people started hitting me up. Oh, he's a scammer and this and that. And here I am years later. I'm still sitting right here talking. Where are they? Broke. Ran out of money. See, that's part of the trap. Remember the statement, the opening statement said what? The markets and price action movement is there to drain my pockets and my emotions at the same freaking time. It's designed to do that. And that's why they push price action. And as I teach my students in the group, the price action is the last thing we look at. Why? Because watch this, I'm gonna give you a tool. I'm gonna give you a tool. Twist the word price action around and you'll really get the real definition of what it means. It's me taking action on the price. See, right now, the price is taking action on you. That's why it's called price action. The price is taking action against you. But when you really learn and get mentored correctly, you'll learn that you are the person in control and you're taking action upon the price, not the price taking action upon you. Oh, I know that was good right there. So I don't rush about price action. I don't really give a flying fart about the price action if everything else don't line up before I even look at the charts. I got my little board right here of news events and stuff and all the other criteria before I even hit these charts. Because here's the deal. Remember what I told you about some of the students when they start telling me about, oh, well, can you look at this pair? And I love doing that. But I love stopping them because I say, hold on, whoa, 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 whoa. NSTP, what is not here? And they say, well, this, I said, then why are we even sitting here talking about this pair? I don't give a flying fart about price action on it. It doesn't fit the criteria. Let's go find somebody else. See? So while you spending 10 hours marking up charts, you shouldn't even waste your time on half of them because they don't fit the right criteria. And I only take action upon the price if it fits the other criteria. Let me give y'all something to think about. Next week on Valentine's Day is me and my wife's 7-year wedding anniversary, and I'm going to go celebrate it. But I had options, just like you do, to pick and choose what woman was going to be my wife. And because I was picky and willing to wait, I got the best one out of the bunch. But see, I treat that the same way when I'm describing to my students about how you pick currency pairs. You don't just start looking at the charts because of price action. What about all the other qualifications? Because you're going to find that you ended up in a bad financial date. Have you ever went on a date with somebody and you wish you would have kept walking? Huh? The moment they say hello to you, you should have kept on walking. But you gave them a date and it turned out to be horrible. And that's what happens to you in Forex. Because you're going right to the action. Price action. You're going right to the action without looking at whether that person was even a good fit for you. Type an amen in the box if you know that's the truth. Not you personally, but some traders you know. Type amen in the box. It's okay. You know I'm telling the truth. There are dating pairs that it's not even a good fit because they're rushing straight to the action. Ain't that what people do? Them one-night stands. Let's get to the action. And by the time you roll over the next morning and look at who you lay next to, you go, oh, God, you ugly. Well, that's because you saw them at nighttime. You thought they were sexy because they were wiggling. See, that action, that dude, you saw them in the club and that little action, and you saw all them butt cheeks moving and oh my God, and this and that. See, and now you done jumped into bed with them the next morning. You don't know their first name. They ugly as hell. Lord, forgive me for saying that because the lights is on now. See, you saw them in the dark. You laid them in the dark. Now that the sun is up, you see who you're laying with and you realize I made a mistake. Ain't that exactly the action you taking on these currency pairs? You're jumping straight to the price action. Action in the bed, action on the charts. You're running to the price action before you realize whether it's a good fit for you. And you wonder why 85 to 90% of traders are losing. You have no qualifications. And the ones that you do is the same ones that everybody around the world is using. That's why they love for you to hear that kind of stuff. Because the broker is making money, the institutions are making money, and they're sucking your pockets dry and causing you to fall into depression. Because you're wondering why I'm doing the price action thing, I'm drawing my why isn't it working? Exactly. When are you gonna wake up? When are you gonna wake up and realize there's something else that's missing? Maybe I do need mentorship. Again, do that financial homework of how many thousands of dollars, your $50 here, your $100 here, your $150 here that you lost week after week after week. Add all that up and see how many thousands of dollars you already gave away when you should have spent a little bit of that money to get some education, but you refuse to do it. You're more worried about who's a scam versus getting an education. And meanwhile, the market is scamming you week after week after week, and you keep coming back. Let me leave you guys with this last one. I got to go. I'm well over time. God forbid. Lord, forgive me. I'm out. I'm well over time. Here's where I was going to leave off before I saw that comment. And I thank you for that comment. I really do, because I was able to give you a little bonus answer that I didn't have on my notes. But so again, I truly believe in price action, but it is the last thing on my list that I do. It's not my first thing, because I am the one who's taking action upon the price that I see, not the other way around. Let me give you one more example on that, and then I'll give you this last one. My wife and I, we like going for walks in the nice sunny days, and so we were talking about me getting back into my real estate investing. And I told her this, and you'll understand how a professional looks at things, okay? When I used to look at homes, and I used to buy a lot of properties in different parts of the country and out of the country. And what happened was, sometimes I would look at the ones that had the potential, but you'll have a woman or a family come in, a husband and wife come in, look at that same property, and if it didn't have up-to-date features, they would turn their nose up to it. No. Why? Because they were trying to take action upon the price right away. They was price action people. They wanted instantaneous surface level examinations of the property. And so they would turn their nose. And I was happy about that. The more people who did that, the better for me as an investor. Why? Because I can go back to the seller and say, okay, you had 10 people who came to see your property and they still turn their nose up to it. My offer is still here. Yes, it's lower, but it's an offer. Do you want it now? And they will sell me the property. Guess what I would do? I would do my assessment, not of what I currently see, but of what I know I could do with it. The value behind it, the neighborhood. Is it an upcoming neighborhood with stores and things coming in, See, all that assessment was done before I offered my price. And then I would come in, tear out all the walls, put in some new sinks and new cabinets, new countertops, and then the same people who turn their nose up to it will come back a few months later after I done flipped, turned that property upside down and made it all modern looking, and they will pay me twice as much. See, I didn't start with the price action. I started with my homework first. And then I put action on the price. Do you see the difference between a retail trader and a professional approach? Okay, let me leave you guys with this and I gotta go. Here's what that old man said, and that's where I was supposed to have left off. Here's what the old man said. He said that in the markets, a lot of institutions have tools to put shorter time frames in their favor. But he said that the higher time frames, and this is a little bonus, so you want to hear me good. He said, but the higher time frames, everybody has the same advantage. Everybody does. Ding! Somebody just had a light bulb moment. So you've been zeroing in on lower time frames over and over and over again, getting your behind chewed out. But you don't have strategies on how to trade out and then go in. I have no problem with short time frames, but we have strategies several strategies we use to start in the same place of advantage that will be an advantage for us as retail traders, as well as the institutions. It creates an even playing field for everybody. I told you, tuning in could be a blessing for you. And sticking around could be a blessing for you. That last one just, ding, that last statement right here just turned on a light bulb moment for many of you guys. This last statement alone, before we closed out, yes, we're running behind, but that last statement alone is going to change some of y'all's Forex career because you never saw it that way. See, do you see why you need mentorship? And if I can give you this one nugget, imagine what you're going to get when you come and join. Now, again, you don't have to do your thing, but I'm never going to give you everything through a free YouTube video. I'm just giving you little trinkets just so you can see how getting mentorship can actually change your life. You don't have to go through this psychological damaging process. The problem is you are not investing in the right thing. This. Your knowledge. When you get this knowledge, the lights will continuously come on and you'll begin to see growth and change, and you'll begin to feel better about yourself, and you'll begin to feel better about your trading career, and you'll feel confident, and you'll stop lying to your family and stealing money. And by the way, for an example, I'll leave you guys with this and I'm really gone. One of the testimonies that came in the other day, this guy has sent in a message, a thank you message, and it was beautiful. And I even told my wife about it. Because my wife, she knows all the bull crap I went through and everything else. And then when I was trying to help people, I was getting called all kind of scams and this and that, just ridiculous. And she had to watch me suffer all of it. But watch what this man said. And that's why I shared testimonies with her. And she said, aren't you glad you stuck it out? This man said that his wife, watch this. This is some of you guys. Watch. Don't click out yet. Watch this. Because some of you guys, you did this. You told your family that you was going to be a Forex trader and you were going to do X, Y, Z. This is what you told them. And they haven't seen any results. And they see you walking out of your trading room depressed. You trying to pretend like you got it together, but they see it. They know a change in your behavior every time you come out that room or off that laptop. They see it. Don't think they're foolish. But watch this. He said that he went to his wife and he said, babe, all the bills are paid. And she said, well, how did you do that? He said, with that Forex money. And she didn't even believe him. But then he showed her, he paid all the bills through the Forex account. Guess who's the new believer in Forex now? And the money they were working for at their jobs can go to savings or to something else, because he was proud of himself that he was able to use money from Forex to pay their household bills. And he was very proud of himself. And I'm proud of him too. So if you're going to be in this thing long term, two things I would strongly suggest. Number one, get a mentor. And I'm more than happy to be your mentor, but if you find somebody else who you like, that's fine, cool, no problem. But I still suggest get a real mentor who's going to be there to teach you. That's the key. Not just sell your product, but actually be there to teach you week in and week out, whatever that schedule is, to teach you how to trade Forex. Not just sell you something, but be there, okay? For support live, okay? Number two, stay in the demo account until you can actually double and triple that account over a month's time. Some of you guys, here's where your problem is. And I'll leave you with this real truth. When I say double the account, what you do is you over leverage it. You take 2 or 3 trades and you finally did double your account. And then you think, okay, I must got it. No, you didn't. Because if you go the distance and you're able to do that over 2 weeks, 3 weeks, an entire month, and you still see the same results, now you might want to go live. But don't think that just because you took a demo account, over leveraged it, some of y'all open these $100,000 demo accounts, you're putting 100 standards on the trade, and then you say, well, I doubled it. No, that wasn't realistically That wasn't realistic, and here's why. Because you ain't got $100,000 to put into your trading account. So why don't you start with a demo account with what you know you can afford to put into a live one? So if it's just $100, open a $100 account. If it's just $500, put a $500 in. People ask all the time through email, how much money should I start my trading account with? Isn't this a popular question? How much money should I start my trading account with? My answer is always the same: nothing. Do not start with a live account. Start with the demo account, and once you get the hang of it and you're able to double and triple that account over time, you automatically know what answer to give to yourself, because you'll feel comfortable with whatever you feel like starting with. See how you can answer your own question if you get taught right? I'm not going to tell you, oh, well, I think you need to start with at least $100. I don't know. I think you need to start in the demo, and once you get the hang of it, then you automatically know your answer of what you feel comfortable with, because you're going to be comfortable at that point starting with a live account because you know it worked in demo. Do you see what I'm saying? So don't sit there and lie to yourself, well, I flipped it with 2 trades. No, you got lucky with 2 trades, because a loss is inevitable in this game. You're going to lose a trade. So therefore, okay, you flipped it with 2 counts, you trade 2, or you stacked on 1 trade one time and you put 2 100 standards on a $100,000 account, which you know is unrealistic. So you took 1 trade, doubled up, you stacked it, now and then doubled the account. See, Uncle Pete? No, you're lying. I want to see you do that for an entire 2 weeks. Can you do it for 2 weeks straight? Can you do it for 3 weeks straight? Straight. If you can't, then stop lying. You're playing a game on yourself. You're not being real. Okay. All right, you guys, I got to go. I'm well over time, but I hope, let me ask you guys this. Was this worth being overtime? Type in number 6 in the box if you feel like this was quality information that was worth us going overtime. I want to make sure that you guys are getting good content to help you. Well, praise God. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Hopefully some things were said today that was helpful. If you tuned in late, I beg you to go back and watch the replay from the beginning. Don't skip. Okay. Don't skip steps. Listen to it from the very beginning so you can get your real blessing, okay? All right, you guys. So enjoy the Super Bowl, and I'll talk to you guys. If you're in my group, I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday, okay? I'll see you guys in class on Tuesday. Love y'all. Bye.